Hey everyone, Repel here, and I'm bringing you guys another Omega Ruby and Alpha Sapphire Wi-Fi battle. Now today, we're up against opponent Michael. Michael has the Yanmega, Claydol, Golurk, Mega Venusaur, Empoleon, and Porygon 2. I got myself the Claydol, Mega Venusaur, Mienshao, Arcanine, Rotom-W, and Florges. Now I do have a comment question of the day, which is, what is your favorite grass type Pokemon? All-time favorite grass type Pokemon. Mine is easily Venusaur, just because Venusaur is probably one of my favorite starters, and he happens to be grass as well. So please guys, remember to leave that comment for the question of the day. I'm gonna go straight into this battle now. Michael is gonna lead off with the Porygon 2, and I led off with the Claydol. He traces my Levitate. I figured this is a great opportunity for me to go for the Stealth Rocks. Porygon can learn Ice Beam, but you know, Ice Beam won't do that much. So there you go, one layer of Stealth Rocks in the middle of the game. In the beginning of the game already. I'm switching out expecting another move or maybe even a Toxic. Yes, he does go for that Ice Beam, but that does absolutely nothing to my specially defensive Florges. Switching out, maybe expecting a Toxic or something. And as a matter of fact, I do have Toxic, but did I go for a Toxic? No way, Jose, I did not. I went for the Wish. Simply because my opponent does have the Empoleon and Venusaur, which are both immune to poison. I'm gonna go into my own Venusaur now, and I really wonder what this type of Venusaur my opponent has. Is it a defensive Venusaur or is it an offensive Venusaur? From that range, we can definitely tell this is definitely an offensive Venusaur. I'm gonna go for my Mega Evolution as well, and turns out he's gonna keep using Sludge Bomb, and I really thought maybe he'd switch out, but he's gonna go for another Sludge Bomb, and I'll actually do quite a lot. However, I do have Synthesis. So this is my defensive Mega Venusaur versus my opponent's offensive Mega Venusaur, and I do have Sleep Powder, Synthesis, Giga Drain, and Leech Seed. So actually I don't have a single Sludge Bomb or Poison move. So I really want to do some pivoting here because I know right now he's going to go for the Giga Drain, so I'm switching back out and I'm going to go into Arcanine now, expecting a Giga Drain, and I figured, you know, this is a great opportunity for me to absorb one Giga Drain. A Sludge Bomb would actually sting a little, but it still won't kill me from this range, so I figured I'm just gonna go for a Will-O-Wisp and burn this Mega Venusaur. Now sometimes Mega Venusaurs do run Synthesis, but I don't care, I just want to burn it. Turns out he's gonna switch into the Claydol now. That's a great move. Not to mention he can possibly scare me away with like an Earth Power or Earthquake, but in reality he'll probably go for a Stealth Rocks or maybe even a Rapid Spin. I'm gonna go into my own Claydol because it has Levitate and can also go for a Rapid Spin and Stealth Rocks. And speaking of which, my Claydol is definitely a defensive Claydol, while my opponent's Claydol is more of an offensive Claydol. So as you guys can already see the differences between my team and my opponent's team. I'm more of a defensive player, while my opponent is obviously a much heavy hitting opponent. Switching out now, I figured, you know, at least I got Rocks up again, so I pretty much negated his Rapid Spin, and he will go for that Giga Drain. I resisted 4 times, but at the same time, my Venusaur can't really do anything, so I'm gonna have to do a lot of pivoting here, simply because I don't really have anything that's Psychic nor Flying on my team. In other words, I don't really have anything to counter my opponent's Mega Venusaur. So I figured let's just go for a Morning Sun, but however, my opponent's Sludge Bomb will actually do over half, so I really can't stay in. I could just sacrifice my Arcanine and just go for the Will-O-Wisp and just at least get a single burn, but at the same time, Arcanine is way too useful, and I really do not want my Arcanine to die just yet. Again, gotta do some pivoting. At this point, I realized something. Since I don't really have a counter for my opponent's Pokemon, I could at least have my opponent waste all of his PP on Sludge Bomb. As soon as the Sludge Bomb is gone, then his Mega Venusaur is not that threatening to the rest of my team anymore. I'm gonna go for that Synthesis, really expecting him to maybe stay in and go for more Sludge Bombs, was really hoping to, but you know, that's okay. Now I'm expecting the Air Slash, so I'm going to go into Florges. However, my opponent plays that really well and does go for that U-turn, so I really wish I could have stayed in with my Mega Venusaur. Actually, my Mega Venusaur would have eaten one Air Slash, but that is okay. I cannot do a single thing to this Empoleon. Nothing. I cannot poison it, and I actually don't even carry a Moonblast on my Florges. My Florges is just purely, you know, Witch Passer and a Toxic Staller, and that's really it. So he does go for his own Toxic, but come on, I mean, I am also a Heal Beller. I mean, not a Heal Beller, I'm an Aromatherapist, meaning that I can just go for Aromatherapy and heal my entire party's status. Now he does reveal that he has Drill Peck, which is sweet. Now I'm figuring, okay, he might switch into Venusaur, however I am running the Choice Specs Hydro Pump. And Choice Specs Hydro Pump will hit his team pretty hard, including this Porygon 2. Unfortunately, I do miss. From this range, it's a 2-hit KO, but I missed my Hydro Pump twice. Freaking ridiculous. But now, I finally land my 3rd Hydro Pump, and yeah, look at that. That's an easy 2-hit KO. He can't do anything to me. He can go for Tri-Attack and Thunderbolt, but even so, it will not be that threatening. And Rotom Wash just finished off Porygon 2. That how sweet is that? So with Tri-Specs Hydro Pump, Rotom does around, I would say, maybe like 30-something%. So obviously, I really don't want to stay in, expecting another Giga Drain or even a Sludge Bomb. I don't really care. I just want my opponent to use up all of his Sludge Bombs, and I think my opponent has realized that. That is why he wants to conserve his Venusaur as much as possible. But at the same time, by conserving his Pokemon, he's forced to switch a lot, and let's just be honest here, I do have Stealth Rocks. And I'm so glad I landed my Stealth Rock so early in the game, simply because my opponent really loves switching, and number 2, he does have a Yanmega, which is 4 times weak to Stealth Rocks. I'm out of here, I'm switching out. He's asleep, so I figured, you know what, let's just bring out my Mienshao. What a great way for me to just do a nice switch here and maybe even go for a U-turn, expecting him to switch out. However, he actually stays in. I'm like, no freaking way. No way. I can't believe he would actually stay in. One high jump kick would have been more than enough to destroy this Empoleon, but he actually stayed in. So I figured, you know what, this Empoleon is not that threatening to me. He knows Drill Peck, but Mega Venusaur is still pretty defensive. He knows Toxic, but Mega Venusaur is poison. So I figured maybe I can just keep using Giga Drains. However, he actually just stops me way ahead and just goes for a Roar. Roar is out my Arcanine. Now we know that he has a few moves, but we don't know his last move. It's probably some sort of water attack. But I do not want to take my chances here. No matter how defensive my Arcanine is, I really don't want to get hit by any stab water move. Turns out he actually has Bubble Beam. Honestly, that is a really good move because Bubble Beam does have a chance to lower the target's speed. In this case, my speed was not, well, it was not reduced. So I'm going to go for my Aromatherapy, my overdue Aromatherapy. Honestly, my Florges has been poisoned a little bit too long, and with a critical, I'm sitting at a very, very vulnerable position. I'm a little bit paranoid here, so I'm just going to have to do another Protect. Hopefully I can grab some more leftovers, but before I do anything, he will just roar me away. And out comes my Arcanine again, and I'm thinking, maybe from this range I could actually live one Bubble Beam. But I didn't want to take any chances, and not to mention, I highly doubt a Flare Blitz can kill my Empoleon. So I'm switching out, and I'm going to go into Diabetes, expecting, I really don't know. Even a Drill Peck will not do anything because I did drop the Empoleon's attack twice thanks to my Arcanine switching in with Intimidate. He's switching out. Now he's gonna go into the, oh yeah, the Claydol, expecting the Sleep Powder. That's really well played by my opponent. However, he's sitting at such a dangerous spot here. I'm just gonna go for a Giga Drain, and that will surely finish the rest of this Claydol. Speaking of which, I ate up that Earth Power really well. And from that range, we definitely can tell his Claydol, unlike mine, is an offensive Claydol. Now he actually goes for another U-turn. That is pretty much GG because of Stealth Rocks. The next time that the Yanmega will come out, it's pretty much gone. So personally, I would not go for a U-turn that much with my Yanmega if I had rocks on the field. Like, I actually just stay in and just spam air slashes and maybe get some flinches. Honestly, using U-turn on Yanmega is great and all, but if you have Stealth Rocks on your field, it's not that wise. Now we finally get to see the showdown of the year. Defensive Mega Venusaur versus offensive Mega Venusaur, and obviously I'm going to lose simply because I don't have any Sludge Bomb. But at the same time, I know for a fact that my opponent's Sludge Bomb is almost gone. And once the Sludge Bomb is gone, I am free to just wreak havoc. And he used his Giga Drain now, so I'm pretty sure we have seen all of his Sludge Bombs. He has 0 PP left. And as a matter of fact, he does. So we can stall each other out, do as much Giga Drain as possible, but at the same time, you know, I do have like a whole arsenal of team left, so I figured maybe I should switch out. But, you know, I just really want him to use up all of his moves, and not to mention, I want to see everything. So far, we only get to see 2 of his moves, which is just Giga Drain and Sludge Bomb. So I don't know his 3rd or 4th move. Switching out. Gonna go into Arcanine now, expecting, well, he's probably just gonna keep using Giga Drains. I highly doubt that he has any more Sludge Bombs. And I can take Giga Drains really well, and I figured I'm just gonna take this opportunity, send out my Arcanine with half HP, grab that Morning Sun, and then I will actually go for the Will-O-Wisp and slowly burn this Venusaur. He does go for Hidden Power, however, it's not super effective to Arcanine, so I'm not really sure what kind of Hidden Power it is. Maybe it's Hidden Power Fighting or something, you know, for those Steel-type Pokemon. Even so, I'm glad I just got my Will-O-Wisp, and not to mention, I just really want to bait my opponent to use Synthesis. And as a matter of fact, he finally reveals he has Synthesis. But even so, I'm afraid Synthesis is just not gonna cut it. With burn damage and with Arcanine's attacks, his Synthesis aren't really going to heal him quite fast enough. So he keeps using more Hidden Power, so I'm thinking maybe he's almost out of Giga Drains as well. This is quite a long battle, so honestly, I'm not surprised if my opponent's Giga Drain is almost gone. I know for a fact the Sludge Bomb is gone though. It's been like 5 turns and he hasn't used a single Sludge Bomb on my Arcanine, so yeah. And honestly, this burn is surely killing him. And from this range, I figured maybe a Flare Blitz can kill. Unfortunately, it doesn't quite kill. He actually doesn't go for the Synthesis, which honestly, I really don't blame him. We are in the midst of a battle where even a few more Synthesis will only prolong this battle. And my opponent now has one last Pokemon left, which is the Empoleon. And like I said, I'm really glad I got Rocks up. Even, I don't care. Like, I don't care if Empoleon resists Rocks. My opponent just loves switching out so much. So these hazards have been truly beneficial to me. He can just keep spamming Roar. I don't really care. At the same time, Empoleon doesn't really have a recovery move, which is really strange. I always assume that, well, not assume, but I always liked the idea that Empoleon should learn Roost. I mean, Empoleon can learn other flying moves like Drill Peck and even Defog, so I don't understand why it cannot learn Roost. If it can learn Roost, just think about all the possibilities. Scald and Roost. That is just a sweet combination for Empoleon. He finally roars me into my Rotom. I didn't even personally send out my Rotom. He just so happens to roar out my Rotom, and actually, I'm just going to finish up his last Pokemon with that Thunderbolt. So, thank you, Michael. That was an amazing battle, and honestly, that was an amazing team, simply because we both shared the Mega Venusaur and Claydol. Speaking of Mega Venusaur, I do want to ask all of my viewers to answer the comment question today. What is your favorite Grass-type Pokemon? See you guys next time.